Welcome to the Big Biz Show. Taking care of business. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we welcome you to another edition of the Big Biz Show. We are live from the Loft 100 studios here in Southern California. And in Southern California, we like to say,
a big old howdy to ya.
That is the world-famous day trader trio. And back here at the bar, it is Costa, it is Mary Godwin, and it is Sully.
That is not what we say here.
There he is.
What we say is a big old happy 70th birthday for Costa.
I thought it was 29.
Oh, wait till you open up. You're going to tear up.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, hold on.
Wait, we got the hashtag.
I'm sick and tired of it.
There we go.
Not only did I get the family size.
You got to show the bag. You got to show the bag to the camera.
Okay, the camera says, and that's
happy 70th, Mike.
Happy 70th, a big old howdy to you. Okay, not only do I get the family size of Funyuns,
Oh,
I get this is three
Bacon bits.
3 feet of meat, Slim Jims, and real bacon bits.
Here's the problem.
Real bacon bits.
We had bacon bit flavored almond milk coming, but it didn't get here on time, and we used all the mayo that you use for dipping.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Birthday, Mike.
Thank you.
Is this your 20th anniversary of your 40th year?
You might as well say it. Sure.
Is this a big one?
61.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's
Well, you got COVID, so you're really 60. See, I pull it back.
There we go. Thank you.
And when Meg,
that takes off a year of our life.
and when Meg drops you like a tummy tuck on a plus size model, when you go on your dating site, you're gonna shave 11 of them off.
Dye
Okay, so
my hair.
Mike's 51 now.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey,
No
ladies.
worries. Hey, let's go right to Howie Font. He's got a lot to talk about today. He's in New York City. He's our analyst here, and the Mega Millions jackpot has climbed to $965 million, the seventh largest in
Here we go.
lotteries. 29-year history, and long story short, this is a lesson in so many things, isn't it, Howie? It's a lesson in why you should not even think about spending $1 on this, because it's your dollar and it's a wasted dollar. 99.99999. There's a trillion nines behind that percent of the time.
This the market, this whole investing seemed thing hard, and I got a little desperate, and I said, why don't we just learn about the lottery? That
Give us a history. Give us a bistory of the lottery, because there's a reason there's a lotteries exist, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. We haven't had them forever. I mean, they came up state by state, popularized heavily in the some of the first were in the late 60s, 70s, and through the 80s. Now, most, if not all, states have them, and they're used to fund You use lotteries to fund popular spending for state spending. So you'll
but finish the sentence.
The lottery funds education.
Finish the sentence. They're used to spend. They're used for spending for popular things.
Yeah.
Because people don't like paying taxes.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
So we don't like paying taxes, but we'll pay money on the lottery. It's going for the same thing. So if we say we're going to put a tax initiative out to fund these schools for sporting equipment, never going to happen. We got a lottery to help the kids. Bam.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And they advertise it like that. They say, the California state lottery system pays for and it's keeping these kids in the best schools ever. But what they don't say.
Wait a second though, Howie. There's a thing in. Remember Steve Wiseman, the scam man, talks about CharityNavigator.com.
Yes.
And Charity Navigator, well, if you type in Red Cross, it'll tell you the exact percentage of money that goes to things for the Red Cross. Or if you type in Challenge Athletes Foundation, literally like 95% of the money goes to the recipient. What is the percentage of money on these lottery programs, Howie, that actually goes to what they say it's going to go for?
Yeah, I mean, it varies state by state, but because of admin costs and fees and penalties,
printing those little scratchers,
it's less than half of the money.
Howie, the great Brian Griffin from Family Guy has said in the past, the lottery is a tax on stupid people.
We all know it, and Brian is a smart dog.
Do you remember,
Very smart dog.
the movie Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's exactly. And we run it like moths to the flame. This might be the time.
I remember the first lottery in our lifetime. Howie, you were long from being born yet. It was in my early 20s when the California lottery came out. They were going to give you $1 million. You would have a one lump sum, and you would have taken home around, at the time with taxes, almost $850,000. Or you could have 20 years at 50 grand minus taxes apiece, for long term. And but I remember honestly thinking, I'm winning this. And people,
it's your turn.
And I remember it was 3, 6, 7, 10, 13, 30. Those are the birthdays of everybody in my family. That was the numbers I played every time.
Right.
And that all ended about the time I started learning about statistics.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, the famous pop science guy in New York. He has a saying, the only conspiracy theory, he doesn't do any of the moon landing nonsense or anything like that. He says the one conspiracy theory that he believes in is that they don't teach statistics properly in high school so that the lottery will continue.
Hey, Howie, what states are the best for lottery? I just mentioned California. California's got to be right there, right?
Yeah, so in terms of federal taxes, you're not going to get away from that, but there's a bunch of states where you don't have to pay on your lottery winnings, which is kind of nice if you get that lucky. California, New York, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington.
And what's better? This is an age-old argument. Would you take the lump sum or would you take overtime?
Yeah,
because lump sum's at a discount. Remember, because you get the whole thing at once because they take taxes.
Yeah, so net of taxes, this almost $1 billion jackpot.
Hang on. What would you take, Mary? Would you take?
I'd probably take the lump sum.
Mike?
I'd take the year by year.
I would take lump sum in a New York minute. Howie, what's the answer?
Yeah, so quick, short and sweet is lump sum. If you were to take this $965 million and do a lump sum, you're going to get a cash lump sum up front of $280.6 million, or you'd get $609 million with the annuity, but over time. The issue is, if you reinvest the $280 right now, you're going to do way better.
You're going to do
so you don't want the money up front.
If you get the money up front and invest it at the worst possible, you give it to a money manager in the worst possible years, you're going to pull down 8% per year of that thing. What is 8% of even $1 million? Okay. It's $80,000. What's 8% of $10 million? It's $800. What's 8% of? Honestly, if you keep on going, it's sort of ridiculous. And the idea is, then you learn about hypothecation. So you really don't take any income. You don't sell your stock. You just borrow against it and pay an interest rate and never pay income again, which is what most of the.
No, that would definitely be the thing to do. Now, I would say this: if you were going to be done with it, the annuity might be better if you're just going to spend the money like it's a piggy bank every year, and you're going to buy planes and stuff. Don't do that. If you win the lottery, please get an estate attorney. Please get a financial advisor.
Howie's number is 212-555 lottery.
And don't you want to go on YouTube and go on YouTube and social media announcing, "Hey, I won the lottery, everybody!
Right.
I won the lottery."
A second, but Howie, tips for those who win it. If you're going to win it, don't you have to sign it right away? Right? Put it in a plastic bag and put it in the freezer, right?
Yep.
All right. Howie Font, financial advisor here on the Big Biz Show.
And a big old happy birthday to you.
And a big old happy birthday to me.
Hey.
Woo! We're back after this. Loft 100 Studios, the Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the company's profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks if we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyandgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
Big Biz Show rolls on live from the Loft 100 studios in Southern California. Heard in over 175 countries, all the ships at sea on the American Forces Radio Network. As always, shout out to our brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces. As always, as well, shout out Day Trader Trio right there on your screen. Of course, back here at the bar as we roll on, it is Costa, it is Marybert Godwin, and Sully.
You know what else it is? It's our good friends from NeoVolta.
Oh boy.
Symbol NEOV, my good buddy Ardes Johnson, who I'm going to make come to the studio next time he's in San Diego, so I know he's in a while. But Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you. And boy, things are moving in the right direction for you guys. I'll tell you what, you're in the right place, right time as usual.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah.
Good to see you. Hey, talk about, just for people that didn't catch you last time you were on, or last year when you were on a few times, talk about a little bit of what you guys are doing, what you're up to, and what's happening for 2026.
Yeah, so we're an energy storage company, and we've been around since 2018, and we're providing solutions historically primarily to residential applications, but we're rapidly moving into the C&I space and ultimately the utility scale space. We're doing a lot of things in 26 that are going to help us grow that. We're partnering up with a couple of people to bring a factory to the U.S. and hot off the presses, we'll be signing a document pretty soon and putting out a press release that says that we're bringing a plant into Pendergrass, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, and it's going to be great news for us and going to be some rapid growth of NeoVolta, as well as we're continuing our residential business, bringing in new product there to come to fruition probably at the end of this quarter, which is really going to support the U.S. footprint.
You know, Ardes, I got to ask you because, and I know, had I known you 10 years ago, we would have been talking about Germany leading the league in solar, and the biggest problem with wind is storage. The biggest problem was, why did it take so long for the storage industry, for the solar industry, to get to the storage conversation? Because look at what's happened in the meantime. And I often refer to days when Mike just did talk radio versus television. Frankly, I was doing this show and talk radio, but we would have endorsements where we would be endorsing Solar Alliance of America and Solar Ease and so on. And we were, they were pitching solar systems because of the tax benefits and put money back onto you're putting energy back on the grid. Why did it take so long to get where we're at now? Because it seems like we're finally at a sensible approach.
Yeah, I think what you said there at the very end is the primary driver, is put solar back onto the grid. Well, the grid is not really wanting the solar back anymore. And batteries in itself provide you that opportunity for self-consumption. And that hasn't been a play in the solar industry historically because the subsidization plus the requirement of the utility to take the excess solar has been something that ultimately created what we call the duck curve in California. And put a lot of strain on the grid. And so batteries are helping alleviate that. So every day in California now, there are solar systems that have storage. They're filling the storage up. They're consuming that solar on their load. And in the afternoon, when the electricity prices get really expensive, they take that stored energy and put it back onto the grid and arbitrage it for a value. And that's where, the combination of the price decrease over time, right? The commercialization of energy storage, whether it came from batteries that were used for EVs or whatnot, the entire industry is now leading to where what we call the attachment ratio, adding the storage to the solar, is becoming prevalent. If you looked back 2 years ago in California as an example, the attachment ratio of residential was less than 10%. Now it's getting closer to 100%. It's in the 90s now. So all solar systems installed today are putting in storage. And in fairness, solar, relatively speaking, is much easier to install than it is to do storage. But now the solar guys are getting good at it. They're starting to understand it. They know how to integrate it. They're working with the AHJs in the communities as well as the utilities. And one other real critical thing, solar's not necessarily been something that the utilities wanted from the residential behind the meter, but storage is what they do want. Our grid is growing. The consumption on our grid is growing rapidly, far faster than our ability to update the grid. So storage adds a complexity or adds a level of complexity into the installer's world, but it alleviates a level of complexity in terms of the utilities needs.
Ardes Johnson is the CEO of NeoVolta. NEOV is their ticker symbol. Ardes, we have about 30 seconds left. Yeah. Is the price of the solar panels, manufacturing to installation, is that coming down as well?
Yeah, solar panels in and of themselves are really becoming more of a commodity than they ever have been in terms of their cost.
Okay.
And putting solar in is relatively a small cost to do it. Storage, on the other hand, has been much more expensive relative to the homeowner or to the business, and it's been cutting in half about every 2 years for the past decade. And now it's getting to where, historically in 2016, when I was at Tesla, the cost was in the neighborhood of $1,000 a kilowatt hour. Now it's getting below $200 a kilowatt hour. So it's really starting to become economical in about 90% of the country.
Ardes Johnson, CEO, NeoVolta, ticker symbol NEOV, helping you save your energy that you're storing up there at your house or your business. All right, keep it right here. There's a lot more to come your way as the Big Biz Show rolls on. We're back right after this.
Welcome to Loft 100 Studios, San Diego's Emmy Award-winning production studio, creative hub, and unique private or corporate event space. Host your next corporate or special event in our spacious main room. Utilize a green screen or our 3 million LED lights video wall to create the newest upcoming sales video, or record that podcast or YouTube show that you've been wanting to make happen. Take your creative endeavor to the next level at Loft 100 Studios. Scan the QR code or go to loft100studios.com to book a tour.
If you are joining us for the very first time ever here in this new year, thank you. If you're a return viewer or listener, thank you as well. Coming live from the Loft 100 Studios here in sunny Southern California. Thanks for being along for the ride. They are always along for the ride. Of course, they are the Day Trader Trio. You just sit there and listen to them every single show. Sorry, not sorry. Back here at the bar, it is Costa, it is Marybird Godwin, and it is Sully.
Well, even more importantly, Nick Liuzza, the CEO of Beeline Holdings, stock symbol BLNE. I consider him a close friend, a colleague, as well as a contributor to this program. And I love the homepage where it says access the same loans that the tycoons use. Mike, are they accessing the same loans as you use, Mr. Moneybag?
No, they are, thanks to Beeline, but before they weren't able to.
It's interesting when you talk to a publicly traded company, a CEO, because they can only tell you so much because it's called non-material public information, meaning that material non-public information, MNPA, means you can't distribute MNPA until everybody knows at the same time. And Nick, you're going to be bursting at the seams knowing what I know about you. So before we start, two things. Give us a review of 2025. Talk about the sort of idea of faster, simpler mortgages in this AI lending environment. Good to see you, man. Happy New Year.
Hey man, good to see you. Happy New Year to you and the group. And yes, you know what? I'm bursting at the seam to want to say things that I should not and cannot. But it is going to be a good 2026 for Beeline. 2025 was great. You know, I mean, we went into the year with several major goals. Well, two of the most important were on the financial side was ensuring that we were debt free, which we are now, and ensuring that we would be cash flow positive in our lending division, you know, before the end of the year, which that happened in October. Cash flow positive, not net income positive. So those were really big milestones for us. And remember, you know, we devised our platform to really, you know, take care of the generation that grew up with these phones in their pockets when they were 6 or 7 years old. And our platform is addressing those needs because it's multi-diverse and it provides a wider variety of options in most lenders.
Nick, when you talk to people that are visiting Beeline and you know, talking with you and going to the website and stuff, are you sensing a great relief in a lot of younger future home buyers that now that you're on the scene and you're kind of simplifying things for them?
Yeah, we are. And you know, and I do want to make the point though is, you know, yes, we designed our platform for the next generation, but look, there's a lot of people that are my age, right?
Sure.
And baby boomers that want a simpler, more digital process, and we do a lot of business with those guys as well. But there is a lot of satisfaction though with the younger generation because, you know, they're reading headlines that, you know, owning a home is more expensive than renting, which isn't true.
Yeah.
And they are, you know, they're seeing, they hear the horror stories from their families about how hard it is to get a mortgage. And so when you see these things and you look at the videos on the testimonies, the video testimonies on our site, you see joy, you see relief, you see the fact that, you know, people are actually able to step into a home that they own and achieve the American dream like they heard about when they were little kids, but they can actually do it now. So there are a slither of millennials that are taking advantage of what we have to offer and actually step into that first home or refinance that mortgage to buy whatever you want to buy on the side.
Everybody that went through the mortgage crisis, everyone went through COVID, everyone went through the fogging up of a mirror to see the derivatives market collapse, now sees like a 2.0 in the mortgage business. And I think because of the AI piece of it and because of the velocity in which you can get refinanced or even a new mortgage, and the fact is that they're underwriting intelligently now. They're the only thing I believe that is a little bit different is they're still using adjusted gross income, which I think you're still fighting that battle. But don't you think this is sort of the smart way now?
Yeah, it is. 'Cause we have two products that I would call common sense products that don't even ask for income, right? They don't even, you don't even, income is not even a criteria in the underwriting process to get these two mortgages. And again, you can't get them at the top 50 lenders. Maybe one of the top 50 lenders you can, but for the most part you can't. So, and look, I mean, test out our chatbot, right? His name is Bob, right? We were the first to introduce an AI chatbot. He can answer your questions 24/7, 365, right? And you don't have to, you know, invest time, energy, or even dollars into a mortgage process until you can really, you know, speak to him and get the information you need and really understand it. You don't have to look through charts or, you know, do Google searches. You can just go to makeabeeline.com and just firing away questions and ask him questions, any question you would have about mortgage. You can't ask him who killed John F. Kennedy, but
Nick Liuzza is the CEO of Beeline Holdings Incorporated. Ticker symbol is BLNE. And as Sully mentioned, the website makeabeeline.com. You know, Nick, I talk about the people, the euphoric effect so many people must have, younger generation and older people like us going to your website. What have you heard, though, about ease of use and how easy it is through Beeline to go through the mortgage process?
I'm so glad you brought that up because we really don't talk about it that much, right, at all. And we wrote this, we're very intuitive in the way we wrote this product. By the way, our product team is based in Australia. And it's not like we wanted to be in Australia, but we just found a product team that really met the mark for us. And so it's a light approach. It's a very sort of like, I'm not going to say comical, but it takes an easy vibe approach. And if you've ever been to Australia and seen their vibe, the vibe is amazing. They are the most easygoing people in the world. And that's what our point of sale is like, which is our application. It's a very easy vibe. It's right there. It makes you feel comfortable. The color scheme makes you feel comfortable. Bob is right there to answer your questions if you have any questions. Of course, we can get you to a loan guy. We call them loan guys, not loan officers, in a matter of seconds if you want to speak to someone, right? But the vibe and the ease of use, I constantly hear over and over through our reviews and through people I speak with that this was the simplest, easiest process that I've ever done. And honestly, we don't talk about that enough. And I'm glad you brought that up. But if anyone could go to the Google reviews and read them, you'll see this as a constant theme.
Well, I love that, Nick, because it can be such an intimidating thing, especially for the younger demographic. It actually doesn't really matter how old you are, but it's just an intimidating process. So even the name, Beeline, I mean, all of it is a vibe, and it is something easy, and you can do it from your phone, which is what everyone is gearing
towards. Are you
towards.
getting paid by him? It sounds like a commercial.
No, but
I'm getting ready to hire her.
I was going to say.
RSU plan.
Hey, Nick, before we let you out of here, what's a typical velocity for a first-time mortgage and a typical velocity for refinances these days?
Man, we're getting to the table in like 16 business days.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
We're getting there very quickly. The thing that slows us up is the appraisal. If you get an appraisal waiver, which is about 10% of the files, you can close in a week. I mean, we are flying through these applications right now. And one of the things we're getting ready to release, just so you know, is we're going to create a page on our website asking people to upload a video of the new home they just bought and show us that home, or talk about what you're using the money for in a cash out refi, and just start collecting all these videos on our site, because people need to get more excited about mortgages and understand that it's not better than, a mortgage is not more expensive than renting. It's way better to own a home than rent a property. And so we want to create excitement and bring that excitement back. And I think you're going to see that on our website here pretty soon.
Hey, Mary, put another shrimp on the bobby in Australia.
No, I can't.
Come on.
Thanks, Nick. Give me Troy for that.
Nick Liuzza, CEO, Beeline Holdings, Inc., ticker symbol BLNE, website, makeabeeline.com. It's how they talk in Austria.
I can't do it.
All right, keep it right here. Let's go to cover the Big Biz Show. Don't go anywhere.
Loft 100 Studios, the Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks. If we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyandgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
Big Biz Show rolls on. We are inside the Loft 100 Studios here in, I think, is sunny Southern California.
Yeah.
Had rain like all last week, but
that's a record.
It is. Sun is peeking through. Peeking through as well is the Day Trader Trio right up there on that stage, playing musical instruments and playing music as we speak.
Never had one lesson.
Never one lesson. Self-taught. No lessons. Back here at the bar is Costa. It is Marybird Godwin. And, of course, it's Sully.
85 million TV homes strong on American Life Network, of course, BizTV, and let's not forget American Forces Network in 175 countries and all the ships at sea. God bless our military men and women who serve us underway and overseas. Cary Claiborne is the CEO of Adial Pharmaceuticals. ADIL is their ticker symbol. He deals with AUD, which is the new word for alcoholism. It's alcohol use disorder. Mike has a Funyun use disorder. It's called FUD, as well as a Red Bull. And do we still have your mile of meat down here?
We do.
What was that?
It's in the shelf.
Is it? What is
it's
it?
in my cubby hole.
What is it?
Yeah, it's 6 feet.
Cubby?
What is it? Hang on.
6 feet of meat.
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Slim Jim. 6 feet. Here you go, Mike.
Thank you very much.
It's called SUD, Slim Jim use disorder. I'm not trying to make fun of this, but.
Oh, but please go ahead.
Well, but the softening of the language does not soften up the fact that this is a huge problem in terms of how it impacts families. Parents with AUD and families are huge here. Now, Cary Claiborne and his company, Adial Pharmaceuticals, ADIL, has come up with a treatment that treat addiction and serious mental health issues. He joins us here on the Big Biz Show. Cary, great to have you, man. And I have to ask you, because we've got a couple of topics to go through with you over the next couple of weeks. This entire sort of thought about parents with AUD and the impact on the families. Look, as if we didn't know this, you guys are at the tip of the spear in the right place at the right time for your therapy. What's going to happen after this interview, as it happens after every time we interview you, is I'm going to get emails asking when can we have this, and is there compassionate use in the play? Talk about that a little bit for us.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I wish there was a better way to get this treatment to people faster. But unfortunately, you have to go through the approval process with FDA, and that takes a while because they want to make sure that these drugs are very effective and safe before they happen. And compassionate use typically isn't available for something like this, although maybe it should be. Those are typically for someone in a terminal situation where they may die or something like that.
When you
have to go through it.
Well, when you sent over your talking points this week, after talking to you earlier in the week with your team, I found it interesting that you chose to talk about parents as kind of a leading sort of topic versus operational costs, lost productivity, and stuff in business. I think this is more important for right now, don't you?
I agree. I think that's not talked about enough. Whenever you talk about alcohol use disorder, you talk a lot about the patients and what happens with them and what they go through. But, what doesn't get talked enough about is what happens to the families, the spouses and the children of someone struggling with that disorder.
Is it true to say that AUD is the leading preventable cause of death in terms of prevention?
I sure believe that's the case.
Because if you think about that, you are one of very few precision treatments. And talk about what your treatment does.
Yeah, so our treatment is designed to help someone bring their drinking down from heavy levels to moderate levels to get their drinking under control. Because our research has shown that it's not the occasional drinking that hurts people long term. It's that heavy binge drinking that creates all these problems. Some of which we'll talk about the impact on families. And there aren't any treatments that were labeled for that. They were all labeled for a total stoppage in drinking. You have to be totally abstinent and not drink at all. And that really isn't very desirable for most people. Now, some people achieve it. And great for them. They can go. I've met people that say I've been sober for 10 years and 20 years and so forth, but those are very few cases. Most people can't sustain that over a long period of time. But if there was a drug that could help them go down to just occasionally drinking and getting their life back under control, we think that's a new way of taking on this disease.
Cary Claiborne is the CEO of Adial Pharmaceuticals. Their ticker symbol is ADIL.
Hey, Cary, I actually am one of those people that just had 10 years of sobriety on the first of the year. But I do know...
Not in a row.
Yes, in a row. In a row.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But I can concur.
I'm glad I didn't know you then, but sometimes I want to peek into the old life.
You would be glad. You would be glad, trust me. But I can concur with what you're saying is that a lot of people don't love the I can't just have one thing. They don't like the programs of recovery that are out there. So your treatment is a perfect solution, I think, to this. And do you work with treatment centers and in, let's see, step in step with programs of,
programs like AA?
Yeah, like a recovery program. Because there's a lot out there, not just AA, there's a lot of them. But you could work in tandem with them potentially, right?
That's certainly a possibility. And in our studies, we always include some kind of behavioral counseling and therapy to go along with the medication, because the medication can help you get there, but you really also need to get to what's the underlying cause. Why did someone start drinking as much as they did to create this problem? So you want to get to the root cause of it. So it certainly can work with other programs that are designed to maintain that recovery.
Hey, Cary, real quickly, I know there's a criteria-specific set of patients that can use this. Can you review that one more time for us?
Yeah, so it is a precision treatment. It's not for everyone. Our data has shown that people that have a certain genetic biomarker seem to respond very well to this drug. So it's about 14% of the population that we're targeting. And, when you talk about numbers as high as 30 million just in the US, people that may be suffering from AUD, 14% of that is a big number. And if we can help any of those people, we think it's a home run for us.
Hey, next time you're on, Cary, I'm going to talk about the cost to business and insurance and so on and so forth. I think that's kind of the next step here.
Cary, appreciate it as always. Cary Claiborne, the CEO of Adial Pharmaceuticals. Of course, their ticker symbol is ADIL. 10 years in a row, Mary Burt Godwin.
Wow, good for you.
God love you. Beautiful stuff. It is the Big Biz Show inside the Loft 100 studios here in Southern California, where apparently somebody is cooking hamburgers and we don't know where. Up on stage is the Day Trader Trio. Best in the business. Lucky to hear them every single opportunity we get on the Big Biz Show. Of course, back here at the bar, it is Costa, it is Mary Burt Godwin, and it is Sully.
Oh my! What's that? So, do you even look at the pump anymore? Remember, you used to look at the.
I do.
When you look at the little plastic numbers.
Yeah.
I do.
You do. You look at
the signs.
Now more than ever.
Me and Mike used to drive down to TJ to save 60 cents a gallon. We spent 80 cents a gallon there, plus beer, and we ended up losing money on the deal.
Well, I was in Massachusetts over the break, and the numbers were so low.
Oh, but I was in South Carolina. Like 219, 220. Yeah. Come on now.
Well, there's so if you can bring it up on the screen, Chris, we're looking at here is a gas price temperature map from GasBuddy.com. And although we don't have Patrick DeHaan today, you can see here how the average price per gallon across the country is about $2.50. The average price on the West Coast is $3.76. We're now down an average of $2.81 altogether now, lowest since 2021. American households are going to save $11 billion on gas in 2026 compared to 2025. More good news. Charles Allen's here. Smartest guest we have.
Charles Allen is the CEO and chairman of the board of BTCS Incorporated. Their ticker symbol, oddly enough, is BTCS. Mr. Allen back with us here on the Big Biz Show. Charles, a belated Happy New Year. Great to see you again.
Yeah, Happy New Year as well. It's great to be back.
Good to see you. 85 million U.S. homes here watch the Big Biz Show as well as Armed Forces Radio, and everybody's asking the same thing. Why does Ethereum matter, Charles? Why? I've learned more in the last 4 interviews with you, but I think it really is worth talking about again. Why is Ethereum such a real deal? Because if I look at Bitcoin, I feel it is like the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P. It's an investment portal for me, but Ethereum's much different, isn't it?
Well, the best way to think about Ethereum without getting into the weeds is it's a settlement layer where you can trade tokenized real-world assets on top of. So it is the layer that allows for dollars to trade 24/7, 365 around the world. If you've heard of USDT, and that's remarkable, right? It allows the U.S. to export the dollar. It allows, try going to the bank on a Sunday, you can't get your money. Think about SWIFT sending a wire transfer. So that's just one of the use cases. And now, the government's very optimistic and promoting the tokenization of real world assets like securities and basically anything you can think of. If it's going to get tokenized and we eliminate middlemen, right? You don't really need a Visa or a MasterCard anymore. It really changes the fabric of the economy on a global scale. And I think that's pretty remarkable. And most of that is getting built on Ethereum. So that's why I think Ethereum matters. It's less about, hey, I think Ethereum is going to go up. It's about what is it going to do to change the global economy.
2 things real quickly. I want to talk about safety and security because of Ethereum and the blockchain versus the fraudulent sort of Fed Reserve notion of a dollar value and so on and so forth. Can you talk about that just for a second before we get to what you guys are all about?
Well, I think there's two ways to think about security. I mean, one is inflation, right? Like, we're better off in the U.S. than most other countries in terms of inflation. That's why, we're exporting the dollar. That's why the tokenized dollar makes a lot of sense. If you think about, security from that perspective, Ethereum's got a burn mechanism, so it's not a cap supply like Bitcoin that can have 21 million. It's a more dynamic supply where the more that's spent every time you send some Ethereum or pay gas fees in Ethereum, some gets burned. Think of it as taking away some of the like a commission on a stock trade. Imagine if every time our stock traded, we burned some shares, right? It would increase the value. So I think that's one. And then the other security is just, what happens holding crypto. Ethereum's never been hacked, but there's been a lot of people that lose their tokens, right? And that's, I think, 10 years into the blockchain space myself, I've seen all sorts of service providers that help individuals and institutions better secure their cryptocurrencies. So I think that from that security standpoint, there's a lot of improvement just from technological developments.
Charles Allen is the CEO and chairman of the board of BTCS Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is BTCS. Charles, I like to tell the story that the first time I talked to my dad about investing in Bitcoin, his question back to me was, how many coins do I get for my investment? So the younger the generations are that are adopting this certain way of payment and things like that, does that determine how big this is going to grow as the older generation kind of phases out?
Yeah, the adoptability question.
Adoptability?
I think adoptability is coming. I mean, I look at my kids and they're, 10 and 12 and they're on Roblox.
Yeah.
Spending Robux to buy, swords in a game or something,
Sure.
right? Like real money is getting spent in a digital form by a younger generation on their devices, and that's how they want to transact. If I look at my 9-year-old mother, she's still writing paper checks and balancing checks. So this is where the world's going. I kind of fall in the middle there, where I still write checks and I still use online apps.
Yeah.
The younger generation wants to interact in a pure digital world, and so that means that we're going to move more likely than not on chain. I think, and we're seeing this happen, large institutions are going to adopt blockchain technology in the background so that they can offer better services to their customers. And I think that will directly benefit Ethereum. We're an infrastructure provider, and we're interactive in the Ethereum ecosystem, so that should hopefully benefit our company. But I don't think to the consumer, there's going to be this like aha moment that, oh, now I'm on the blockchain or I'm using it. It's going to be more like an Uber, right? Like you pull out your phone, your cab shows up and it works. You don't care what technology they use. You don't care about GPS. You don't care about the data center that hosts it. And so I think that's where the world is going, is people want a more seamless way to interact with each other in a more efficient economy.
I think the real question is, are you still getting the $5 check for your birthday card like I do every year from my grandmother? Of
course.
That's going on my age-old, 40 years old.
So I get cash.
Oh, yeah. The $5 bill, a crisp.
And I get like $100 now.
Yeah, which means and I know you.
Just for inflation.
If you're like me, you got the same $40 in your pocket you've had for 6 months, and unless you've seen a valet, you haven't used any cash. Hey, Charles, before we let you out here today, talk about the operations of BTCS, because that's what really, most digital asset treasuries are wrappers for crypto. You guys have something much different than that. Talk about that for me.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time, so I won't go into the details. I'll just kind of hit on the highlights, the proofs in the pudding. We're looking to drive scalable revenue. We did 1.4 million in revenue in 2023, 4 million in 2024, and just yesterday or Monday we announced we did unaudited 16 million for this year. So up over 290%. We've grown our balance sheet over 600% into a couple hundred million. And so we've got a business that's growing far beyond just holding a cryptocurrency and staking it or doing what a lot of these other DATs are. So we're really building a vibrant business within the Ethereum ecosystem, blockchain ecosystem and economy. And I think that's going to drive value for our shareholders. And hopefully people take notice, right? It'll sooner or later, if we keep delivering, someone will notice.
Charles Allen for president, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
I'm in.
Smartest guy I know. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
CEO and Chairman of the Board, Charles Allen of BTCS Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is BTCS.